How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen. And I had the weirdest thing happen to me. Let me tell you a story. So I posted my Marnie's Grimmsnarl video the other day, and it was the first seemingly meta deck that I ever covered on this channel. Unless you count Joltik Box, which I did a whole month before it got popular, so I don't count that. But look, to be fair, I covered it because it's a Munkidori Frostlass build, which is my favorite way to play right now. And seeing a Munkidori Frostlass build tearing up the meta sounds exactly up my alley. But I'm not the only one who did that. Almost every YouTuber did, and it's because Grimmsnarl and Metagross both dropped 2 weeks early, so those are the only Destined Rivals cards we have right now. So it makes sense, right? Content creators have 2 new decks to work with, so a majority of us are making content about those 2 decks. So when I saw somebody comment on my man Professor Gnome's video about Marnie's Grimmsnarl, I had to go to bat for my guy, you know? Because I know him, and I know that he's not just a trend follower, he covers what interests him whether it's meta or not. So when my video finally goes up, who pops in but the same guy who wasn't even aware I was a content creator up to this point, and that exchange is all... Dude, do you mind? And that exchange is all still there, so if you want to check it out, here's a link to that video if you're into drama and things like that. Also, I could use some more views, so yeah, go for it. Go ahead, check out the drama. So this led me to believe that that guy is just going around leaving hate comments on all Grimmsnarl videos. And to an extent, I was right. Same guy commented something similar on my other buddy Snipe the Bench's video. But you know, I was working from home and I had nothing better to do, so I engaged. I fought. Look, I'm generally pretty good with criticism. If I had $1 for every time somebody pointed out one of my misplays and roasted me for it, I would not need to monetize this channel. But the criticism has to make sense. If you're going to accuse me, Gnome, or Snipe of trend following, you're going to need to back that up with something. Just look at the playlist this video is attached to and tell me with a straight face that I just follow what's popular. Then do the same with Professor Gnome and Snipe the Bench. We are rogue deck players. I understand what the criticism was trying to get at, but I just think it was pointed at the wrong people. So after a long heated exchange, he finally decides to take it to a private message. So I get an email at yeschefhusky@gmail.com, which you can also use to get in touch with me for future reference. But while I was expecting some more flaming and misguided criticism, I instead got a plea for help. This guy was working on a deck that centers around cheesing prizes, which is something I've been thinking about for a while too, ever since I made that prize denial video, where I went in the opposite direction with it. So it was a really weird exchange for me. This guy who came in flaming me for trend chasing asked for my help to improve his consistency for a rogue deck. But there was never a part of me whose initial reaction was like, no dude, you don't get my help after all that. I'll help anyone who needs it. I can bury a hatchet for the sake of fun meme decks. And I like a challenge. So that's where we're at now. I took a look at his list and made a couple changes. And I'll give credit where it's due. He had the one missing key ingredient I've been looking for to make it work. Joltik Box. So we have essentially the 3 horsemen of taking extra prizes. The first is already in Joltik Box. That's Iron Hands. But we can power up super quickly on turn 1 for big knockouts. That's 1 guaranteed extra prize already. The second has seen a lot of play in meta decks already, and that's Togekiss, which lets you flip a coin every time you take a KO to see if you can take an extra one. And the third is this lucky bonus Chansey, which says that if you pull it from the prizes, you can bench it, and then flip a coin to see if you can take yet another prize for it. So if your coins flip good, there is a chance you could take 5 or 6 prizes in a turn from a singular knockout. But we need a lot to go right to make this happen. So let me walk you through how I think when I change a deck list. Here's what he brought me. He told me that his consistency was a little bit rough, but the vision was there. You would use the trolley to set up your Joltiks, Pikachu, Hands, Togepi, whatever you need, while leaving bench space open for Chanseys, and the Area 0 can help with that. Now the idea was to use the Academy at night in combo with Ciphermaniac to stack the top of your deck with Chanseys, and then exchange ticket them into your prizes so you can start pulling them every time you knock something out. So in order to do that, we need an item, a stadium, and a supporter all in one go. Now what do we know that can pull all of that at once? Yeah, so that was the first change I made. Change it from Precious Trolley to Secret Box, since this deck relies on a lot of pieces. And then when I have an item as my A spec, I like to go for Arven. It maximized my chance of pulling it on turn 1 going second. I even threw in a Pokégear to help the consistency just a little. But this should help us pull all the pieces we need for the following turn. Unfortunately, one bad Iono would ruin this whole strategy, but if they don't have one, we have a god turn set up. And we can still use Joltik to power up our hands, assuming we have the energy. And I did improve the consistency of having a Joltik in the active, because starting a Chansey is literally the worst thing that can happen to this deck, but having 4 of them makes sense. So I upped the Joltik count to 4, lowered the Togepi count to 1, and added in a transformative start Ditto to basically act as a 5th Joltik, or something that can become the Hands or Pikachu if we're missing it and don't have a Nest Ball. I took out the Area 0 because I think if we improve our consistency, we won't need to worry about running out of space for the Chanseys. I think getting our early game figured out is more important than the possibility of a big 6 prize turn, which would be awesome, don't get me wrong. But I think we should be okay as long as we keep the bench pretty small. I also adjusted the counts of everything else because this crazy god turn with the Secret Box is something we're only going to try once. So we don't need 3 exchange tickets and 3 Ciphermaniacs, but we would hate to prize an Academy at night. So I changed every piece we might need to 2. I think this build should help with the consistency and make it a lot more feasible to get that turn 2 God turn, and get all of our chances into the prizes and start swinging at the same time. I think it definitely needs some more tweaking, so if you have any ideas for how to improve it further, let me know in the comments. But there is a vision here, and it's fun, so that holds a lot of value to me. So did my hater cook? Let's find out in the ladder. Alrighty, welcome to game 1. We are trying out a very interesting kind of reverse prize denial build where we're just kind of going for extra prizes today. Actually, this is kind of an excellent opener. All we need is an energy. We can cook with this for sure. The top deck is going to matter though. Hey, Joltik. Nice. Okay, so at least we can guarantee we're pulling something decent here. Alright. Yeah, all 3 of these things can go. I don't need a Night Stretcher, Super Rud, or Penny. So we're just going to go for the Secret Box. Hopefully our top deck is something usable. Otherwise I'm just dropping these 3. Alright, Nest Ball grabs the Latias. My turn. Energy, let's go. Alright, so we are going to put that there. We are going to go ahead and Secret Box. And we can actually do everything we need on turn 1. So we're going to get Ciphermaniac. We're going to get the exchange ticket. We're going to get Academy at Night. Unfortunately, we're only going to be able to do 2 Chanseys. If we had a Chansey in hand, we could have done a 3rd. But we're just going to go for the 2. That's not a huge deal to me. So let's go ahead and just grab all of it. I'm going to Academy at Night. I mean, there's no reason to, right? Because there is no Chansey in our hand. So I say we just Ciphermaniac. We do have all 4 Chanseys in deck. We're going to put them on the top. I'm going to slap a Heavy Baton on my hands. Can Redeemable Ticket. Gets our Chanseys right in there. And then we Jolting Charge. And I am going to just put it all on the hands. We're going to make it nice. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, so it's not quite the God turn. It would have been a God turn if we had a Chansey in hand. But I think that's a very good turn 1. We have 2 Chances in there. We have our Iron Hands powered up. We're good to go. We're good to go. We're chilling. Next step would be to get our Togekiss up, but we haven't really invested a whole lot into guaranteeing that. I'm totally fine just having 2 of the 3 Horsemen getting ready to go. So, obviously he's going to want to keep his Joltik in the active, but that thing is getting destroyed right after this. Ironically, Joltik is actually a pretty solid matchup for this. Okay, he's got a Psychic Energy in there. That's interesting. And the nice thing, too, is that this Jolting Charge does pull all those energies out of the deck. So there is a better chance now that we are going to have most of what we need. Alright, so he's got the Jolting Charge off, and he applies it to the hands. Yep, that makes sense. Alright, so my turn. Ciphermaniac is not bad here. Let's go ahead and get a couple of things that we might need. I would like to have the research. We don't have the research. Okay, so instead I think I want to bail myself out of a bad situation with an Iono. And I guess the bottom deck doesn't really matter because we're just going to draw right into it. Let's get the metal. Yeah, that's good. And then we just amp you very much for 120. cheese an extra prize card off of that. And possibly cheese another prize card. Let's see. Nope, no Chansey. Okay. All good. Boss's orders. Yeah, he's going to come in for the Joltik. Yep, that makes sense. He's going to do the same thing. Yep, understandable. That's what I would have done. Let's go up with the Iron Hands. And we have the Iono. I say I'm gonna just Iono, not do anything else. Let's go ahead and do that. And then we're gonna pull the Metal Energy. Yep. Gonna stick it onto the Pikachu. And then I'm gonna go in for the Arm Press. We'll do the Amp You Very Much next turn. Alright, what do we got next? Tandem Unit. Can get you your next Joltik. No, Pikachu. Yeah, the Iono didn't help very much. It got us the Metal Energy. We can also use the Heavy Baton to power up the Pikachu next turn. But, yeah, it didn't help a whole lot. The research would have been much better. Let's see what Arven gets for him. I mean, what's the play here? Because you can hit me back for 160. All right, Bravery Charm will do it. Does the Bravery Charm go on the hands though? No, it doesn't. Okay. All right, Bravery Charm does go on the hands. Now we can still Amp You Very Much it for 120. It's still in range. We just need a boss. All right. My turn. All right, Arven works. Let's see what we can get off of that. I think we do take the baton, and I guess I'll take a Nest Ball. Is that what I want? We might as well get the Togepi started, shouldn't we? Okay. Yep, so we'll just Arm Press. And then next turn, if you can't do anything with that Pikachu, we're golden. We can just amp it and be good to go. I think we're in a solid spot so far. Alright, the boss comes in. He does go after my Togepi. Yeah. Tandem unit. Get the thing down. Joltik. Yep. Okay. Makes sense. You know what? I'm going to pretend like I baited that. Yep. I baited out the Iron Hands. Because now, if he takes this thing out, I can come in with my own Iron Hands and take all my prizes, possibly. Yep, that's what that was. That was bait. I baited him. Alright, but we are kind of depending on a coin flip here. Alright, let's throw that in there. Alright, we're gonna amp it. We just need a coin flip to go right, and we win it this turn. So that's 120. We take 3 prizes. If 2 of them are Chanseys, we should be golden. 3 Chanseys. Let's do it. Lucky bonus. Come on. Nailed it. We got heads. That is our last prize. Yep, with another lucky bonus. And we got it. It's another prize. Yeah, he conceded. He's like, he's done. He's done. That was fun. I like that a lot. Alright, welcome to game 2. That game 1 was pretty wild. That secret box in the opening hand was perfect. But that's obviously not going to happen every time. So there's a bigger chance it'll be like a turn 2 play rather than a turn 1 play. But yeah, we definitely want to go second. But I don't know. I'm not ready to declare that as part of the consistency of it. But we'll see. We'll see. No basics. We don't like that. Let's go ahead and do that. Pikachu is a starter. It's certainly one of the starters of all time. Alright, so it looks like we're going up against Raging Bolt. Gonna be a little bit of a tricky matchup, but I think we can do okay. But it really depends on this top deck. We have a Ciphermaniac for next turn, but aside from that, I don't know. It's a little dicey. We have a catcher. I think we do want to Ciphermaniac. I'm going to Ciphermaniac the secret box to the top, and the metal energy to the bottom. Gonna go ahead and drop a grass. That's it. That's all we got. Now with the secret box in hand, this is good because we don't have to use our supporter to grab it, which means that we can just Ciphermaniac right now and be good to go. We'll have to see how this works out. We are about to lose this. We're not going to lose this Pikachu this turn, but it's kind of setting up to be a loss later. Alright, so he retreats that, goes right for the Ogre Pawn, and hits the Iono. We're going to get the secret box. And the metal energy. Alright, what's the Jewel Seeker grab us? Sada and an Area 0. Okay. So Area 0 is not bad for us. The original build did have Area 0 in it because of Pikachu. I just took it out because I didn't think we needed it. But this isn't terrible. Alright, so Myriad Leaf Shower hits us for 150. Let's go ahead and secret box. I'm gonna discard this, and the lightning. Let's drop the Switch. Because I think Pikachu has one retreat anyway. Yeah, it does. Alright, so we'll do that. We'll drop the Switch. I think we definitely want that. That we can Ciphermaniac right now as well. We're just stacking our decks, or our deck with Chanseys right now. And so Exchange Ticket would be the play if we wanted to get all the Chanseys into the prizes. But we have no choice. We need Nest Ball. There's no choice. Okay. So I'm gonna do that. Let's get this going. Is there anything that I want on my top deck next turn? Okay, let's... No, I think we save it. I think we save it. I'm gonna hit Jolting Charge. The reason why I stack all 4 energies there is because we can reload it later. Unfortunately, we're probably gonna lose it. It's a good habit to load more energies on the Pikachu so you can choose which energies you're discarding. So I would, in theory, keep the metal, drop, I don't know, maybe both of the grass, or 1 grass, 1 electric, and still be good to go. Okay. Losing the Academy at night kinda sucks. Because it means we can get a maximum of 2 of them. Well, I don't know. See, this relies on a lot to go right. And it relies on them not bumping the stadium, it relies on them not Ionoing us, it relies on a lot. That's why I could never consider this like a competitive deck. But look, we're working with what we got. Alright. So the Joltik is gone, but we have a Pikachu ready to go. He can hit pretty good. And we get a Metal Energy, which is not helpful to me. We can Ciphermaniac something for next turn, but unfortunately it's really not gonna matter. It doesn't matter what I put on top, because we're getting knocked out. So we'll go ahead and do 300 damage. Drop that, probably drop that. I probably could have dropped a Metal Energy, because we have another one in hand. But, unfortunately, this is most likely where it ends for me. Yep, the Assault Landing does it. GG. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Game 3. Yeah, so I cut out, full disclosure, I cut out like 4 games in a row. 5 games in a row, actually, because we just couldn't get anything going. The 5th one, finally, we did actually manage to get a good start, and then our opponent conceded before turn 1 even started. So, this deck definitely does have consistency problems. I don't normally like cutting out games if it was a good game, but I just lost it. But these were not good games. It was just brick after brick. Bad starting hands, starting the wrong starter, sometimes starting the right starter with no energy. And I did call a last minute audible, and I switched out one of each grass and lightning energy for 2 jet energies. so that we can hopefully get Joltik into the active if it's not already. But to be honest, I feel like it needs more than that. It might need even another Nest Ball, because I find that the biggest problem so far that we're having is getting a Pokemon into the active. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the energy there. Hopefully we have the box. We have the box. I'm going to get Heavy Baton. Let's go ahead and Secret Box away the Chansey, the Heavy Baton, actually no, not the Heavy Baton, the Night Stretcher, and the other Arven. And we'll use it to get the exchange ticket, the Academy at Night. And our supporter will be the Ciphermaniac. Actually, maybe I don't want this yet. I need something as backup, right? I need to charge something up. So, as much as I would love to have the exchange ticket right now, I think we need something to put on the bench. So we'll do that. Slap the Heavy Baton on that. And we could Super Rod the Chansey back in. I don't think we do that yet, though. Alright, so we have a Duskull in the active right now. I'm thinking this is probably Dragapult because we got the dragon sleeves. But I'm thinking we have a decent enough start here to where we can actually do something. So I'm going to start swinging here in a second. Alright, so he's got the TM Evo. He's going to start doing his thing. Okay. Your cloak is up. Okay, so I'm going to start with the retreat. Get the Iron Hands into the active. Gonna put up the Academy at Night. And I think what I want to do is I want to get my Ciphermaniac into the top deck. And then Iono. So I have the Ciphermaniac for next turn. Yep. Okay. And now we have the Redeemable Ticket, so if we can start getting our Chanseys, that could work. So I'm going to go ahead and put this Chansey back in the deck. And then I'm going to amp for 120. Alright, Academy at Night and Penny. Unfortunately, that doesn't really do much for me. What he could do here is just Curse Blast the active, and then if he can get the Sparkling Crystal... Actually, no, he didn't play the Sparkling Crystal. I saw him pull it, but I just Iona'd it away. He may not even be able to attack this turn. He should have attached it. Though, I mean, a boss's orders would have definitely ruined that for him. Alright, so he chooses to go for a Badu play instead, which is an interesting call. Okay, well, he gets the Fez. He probably just doesn't have everything he needs to attack right now. So is he gonna? He's probably gonna Curse Blast, right? So he'll Curse Blast and then Badu for the Itchy Pollen. That might be what he's going for if he can't get the play off this turn. I would definitely evolve it if I was you. Alright. First Blast, yep. Takes out the Joltik. I feel like that was a waste. I feel like that should have gone to the active. I would have Curse Blasted the active and then Budu. Yeah, because like, well, I mean, obviously Boss's orders goes to the Trick Cloak, right? That's got to be the play. We'll do that. I think I do want my next Joltik ready. That's fine. I'll amp that. How crazy would it be if we have a Chansey in there already? Come on, Chansey. We don't. Dang. Okay. Hey, Dragapult conceded. Alright, well this deck is capable of beating Dragapult. I do think he made a couple misplays. I think that he should have attached the Crystal. But I understand why he wouldn't, right? Because if I had a boss, it would just kind of... It would lose the Crystal, it would lose the Trick Cloak all in one go. So I understand why he didn't, but that would have been what I did. You know, I would take the chance that they don't have the boss. Okay, so it definitely needs some more tweaking. So I'm calling on you, the audience, to help this guy out. Let's not be toxic, let's be a good community and show that we can cook together. I ask that you be genuine in your responses if he jumps in the comments here, and try your best to be helpful. I like the idea, and I feel like we're almost there. We saw it work in Game 1, but it just needs a little more oomph, you know what I mean? Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. This was certainly an interesting one, and not one I was expecting to make. But I will be sending this out to him, and hopefully he likes it. I apologize for calling your comment dumb. If you like what you saw today, please drop me a like, and maybe even a sub. I'm really excited for Destined Rivals, and I feel like we're going to be cooking a lot here soon. So stay tuned for all that. But that's it for today, I'll see you all next time.